starting for your Southern Virginia Knights. At attack, senior from Syracuse, Utah, number 1, Connor Packard. At attack, senior from Salt Lake City, Utah, number 10, Tennyson Schmidt. At attack, senior from Buena Vista, Virginia, number 32, Sean Lamb. At midfield, senior from Spanish Fork, Utah, number 11, Bryce Gardner. At midfield, senior from Castle Rock, Colorado, number 25, Ty Beard. At midfield, senior from St. George, Utah, number 3, Carter Bean. At midfield, senior from West Haven, Utah, number 7, Isaac DeJarlis. At long stick midfield, senior from Spanish Fork, Utah, number 33, Brad Gardner. At defense, senior from Hagerstown, Maryland, number 2, Justin Mitchell. At defense, senior from Portland, Oregon, number 4, Dominic King. At defense, senior from Union Bridge, Maryland, number 5, Garrison Cook. And in goal for the Knights, senior from Fredericksburg, Virginia, number 20, Caleb Brody. The Knights are coached by Jason Lamb and assisted by Greg Gowdy.
And we welcome you to another edition of Knights Men's Lacrosse here at Southern Virginia University's Knights Stadium. We are live on Knights Broadcasting. I am Scotty Winterton. I will be joined shortly by my faithful companion, Adam Peterson. This afternoon, we bring you a contest between the Knights and the Brevard College Tornadoes. The Tornadoes come in with a record of 2-10, 1-6 in the conference. This will be an opportunity for both teams to have their final conference game. Southern Virginia, in lieu of their defeat of Pfeiffer and Piedmont, are sitting at the top of the conference at 7-0. Also have a full record of 10-4. They are 6-2 at home, 7-0 in the conference, as I mentioned. And today is a special day for the Knights, as it is senior day. The Knights starting lineup consisted mostly of seniors and a couple juniors. Knights mixed and matched just a little bit to make sure all these seniors are out here starting. As Jaden Arnold gets the first face-off to Tennyson Schmidt. And then down from Gabe King to Connor Hackey with the tic-tac-toe and the first goal in the first 7 seconds of the game. This is going to be a very tough day for Brevard if the face-off is going to continue to go this way. Brevard College comes in just working as hard as they can. This is a team that's building, growing. And when you look down across the roster, there are a couple seniors, but it's mostly freshmen and sophomores. And you see that in some of the telltale signs of how a team does with the face-off win. JT Cotrier coming out with the ball. Brad Gardner starting at a spot not necessarily native to him at LSM, but just working to get as many seniors on the field as possible. So Coach Lamb moving Brad Gardner, and saw his mom here for senior day. Exchanges with his brother Bryce Gardner, comes onto the field. Eric Knorr is here. His parents are down for this senior day game. Knorr here will get to his strong right hand. The throw back to Schmidt. One more down low, and there's Ty Veers, the senior, finishing. Great job by Tennyson Schmidt of drawing the defense, moving forward, and then going back across his shoulder down to the sniper spot. That's 2 goals from the same spot on each side of the goal. That's tough when you're a goalie. If you're going to handle that, Devin McCarriger comes in, having played about half, a little more than half the games in terms of total minutes, a save percentage of 47%, goals against average of 13. He split time with Jack Hicks a little bit also. So here's an opportunity. Face-off win. It's exactly what the Tornadoes need. Ball still on the ground. And eventually, great job by Dominic King, the senior starting. Comes up with the ground ball, moves it across the field. Nice looking to get the ball in. Eventually, Gabe King coming out of the box. So a couple things that you can look at as the Knights are done subbing. Gabe King off the left post. Ball go out of bounds. He'll chase his own shot down. Knights will do a little substitution as Michael Brown comes off the field. When you look at things like shooting percentage, not necessarily indicative of how much a team scores, but you want to make sure that a good 1/3 to a half of your shots are on cage, or 2/3, sorry, half to 2/3. But then in terms of actually scoring, as a great save going down low was McCarriger. McCarriger outside the Knights into their 10-man. Shot from McCarriger just a little to the right, about 4 feet. And Garrison Cook chases that ball down. He and Caleb Brody will play a little catch. Get it safely into the hands of the reliable Ty Veers, already with a goal on the afternoon. And the Knights did not get the fourth men back in time. So they were offsides, turnover, technical foul. If you have possession of the ball and it's a technical foul, it results in a turnover. Ball on the ground as Justin Mitchell. Frankie Howard ended up doing a great job getting that ball into his stick. And now Tristan Wallace. Top scorer for the Tornadoes, Andrew McDonald, number 21. Michael Brown been a fantastic addition as he looks to go up against Wallace. And the goal from Wallace, great job on the shot. Really low angle, he had Brown all over him and able to find the back of the cage. That's a fantastic, he did a little hesitation move. That's a really awesome job getting that ball into a spot where he could get the shot off and cut the lead from 2 goals to 1 goal, 50% change in that. Well done, Wallace. Looks like it kind of went 5-hole. This ball now in the stick of Carter Bean. Carter Bean, if you have not had a chance to see, as he shoots high over the cage. In the game here last week, Carter had a play where he basically runs over his defender, and that play has gone viral. Check out the Knights Instagram page, the Men's Lax Instagram page, and you can see the efforts that Kiwi, Giroux, and Matt Gowdy, and they're really fantastic. They're fantastic editing and production of the Knights Instagram page. Sean Lamb now on the dodge, gets to his left hand, finding Tenson Schmidt. One more, Nor not able to capitalize. Ground ball being fought over. Zach Taylor needed to come up with that. Eventually he does and gets into the hands of McCarriger. Knights again into the 10-man. Great job coming out of the box and beating his man to the ball was Tristan Wallace. Second fantastic play we've seen out of him. The Knights looking to double team. Eventually Wallace, with the speed and effort, able to safely get the ball in a settled situation. That's really exactly what the Tornadoes need. When the Knights go into the 10-man, opportunities to beat a 10-man can come from the shot, which they took earlier, but you got to make sure you're backing it up, or beat a man one-on-one. You know, somebody's coming. Everybody's matched up one-on-one. If somebody can beat the man that's covering them, then you're in a good position. And then a pipe shot as Wallace tries to get his second of the afternoon. Steps down from about 10 yards. Hits that pipe just the same way happened on the other side from Gabe King. Pipes being very friendly to the goalies today. Bryce Peterson dodging against JT Cotrier, and then Garrison Cook scraping the passing lane. I mentioned Andrew McDonald. We haven't seen him. In fact, I haven't even seen him on the field. He might be injured. I haven't seen 21 Andrew McDonald. Maybe he's wearing a different number. I'll find out. Nate Stone. Ball ends up on the ground. Brad Gardner fighting for it. Comes up. Great vertical cradle. Something defensemen work on all the time. You got to be able to cradle that ball vertically to escape. Tennyson Smith with King wide open, not able to find him. Really fine job from the defense. But then Sean Lamb gets to his hands on the left-hand side, right where he wanted it. But McCarriger was there for the stop. The defense for the Tornadoes did a wonderful job of slowing up the transition by getting to hands and not allowing the open men that were going to have an opportunity to shoot get the ball in their sticks, because if you're like 1 against 50, right, you're one defender against 50, but you're on ball and the man who has the ball cannot find the other 49 players because you're all over him, then those other players aren't open, and that's exactly what happened there. And Caleb Brody with the save. His second save in the afternoon. Quickly into the hands of the speedy and athletic Landon Barney. He's been playing a lot of defensive mid. Michael Brown trying to find King. Couldn't get the ball to him quick enough. Great ground ball. Getting it to the goal. That was Evan Francois. Everybody looks like they're playing for a whistle. I don't know. We got a flag down. Flag down on the near side over here. We'll see what the call is. Oh, no. I think they'll call offsides. So no flag. Just a technical foul. Offsides, turnover. And they should throw a flag right here for offsides. But they're not going to. That's interesting. The tackman, that was Nate Ellen, just stepped over. No flag coming. Little Christmas gift from the referees in April. Solid defense out of Evan Johnson so far, the freshman out of Sanford, Florida, went to Seminole High School. Gabe King gets to his left hand, not a place you want him to be either. Sean Lamb and Gabe King have consistently been able to get to their strong left hands. That's not going to bode well for the Tornadoes. Once they get to the middle of the field, often in coaching, different coaches, different teams have different names for the middle of the field. Here at Southern Virginia, and in other places, we refer to that middle of the field. There's like an imaginary line down the middle of the field that splits the field hot dog bun style called the Z line. And the Z line is a really important concept. And here you see Sean Lamb fighting for the Z line. The cage opens up. He goes behind the back. The closer you get to the Z line on the dodge, meaning the more of the cage you can see. And defenses will choose to either protect the middle of the field, or they might choose to try to push a team to their weak hand. Either way, defenses need to have a plan. Right now, it feels like the Tornadoes are letting the Knights get wherever they want on the field. And Carter Bean, the senior, gets his first goal of the afternoon.
Goal, Knights, by number 3, Carter Bean.
So that's 4 goals for the Knights, 4 goal scorers, Hackey, Bean, Gabe King, and Ty Veers, all with a goal. Only one of those assisted. The Knights do a really good job of sharing the ball. Peyton Merwin, been out for injury. It's good to see him back on the field, winning his first faceoff in a number of weeks. Isaac DeJarlis, also a senior. Tension Schmidt gets to the middle of the field, shoots, had all the cage inside 10 yards. That's not a shot that Tennyson Schmidt will miss very often. Got to credit Devin McCarriger right there for his play. When a goalie's playing well, shooters feel like they have to be a little more precise. You'll see them then often missing the cage. Most of the Knights have, in fact, almost all have above it. And then Tension Schmidt taking the game on his shoulders and just finishing, splitting 3 defenders. Finishing with an easy score. Schmidt, who leads the team in points with 42 goals and 32 assists. Close behind him is Sean Lamb with 71 points, 37 goals, 34 assists, which is awesome to see out of Sean Lamb. It shows a real maturity in Sean Lamb's game. The 32 assists for Tension Schmidt is no surprise. He's really been at his heart. He loves sharing the ball. He appreciates an interesting here. JT Couture taking the face-off. Coach Lamb really mixing things up. But going back to Sean Lamb, early in his career, he would be a 40-goal scorer and 10 assists kind of guy. And now to see him really even that up, in fact, having almost as many assists as goals really shows that senior maturity comes into play. And the shot over the cage, so I mentioned in the 10-man, there's 2 ways to beat it. One is to have one of your teammates beat the man covering them, as we saw Wallace do earlier. Now we've seen 2 shots. You can take this shot, which you can do, but your attackmen have to know that this is coming and be prepared to back up that ball. And that way it's just a free clear. You take the shot, you back it up, easy clear. You're off to play some offense. But that's twice now that the shots come and the attackmen have not been back or prepared to back that up. That's really a coaching issue where they need to sit down and talk about, basically it's a play. And you can have a call on that because the attackmen are going to try and get open and also pull the goalie away from the cage. The goalie's covering one of those attackmen. The throwback from Zach Sullivan goes awry. Great scoop and clear from Zach Taylor. Finding teammate Nate Ellen over the middle of the field. He's being harassed by Garrison Cook. Eventually, that harassment ends up being too much, and ball's thrown away as Will Scoggins couldn't really handle the pass. It was a low pass. Ellen needs to bounce right there. When we talk about bouncing, we talk about not just running sideways, but really take 2 hard steps away. Tension Schmidt finding Gabe King cross crease. Gabe King, for the second time this afternoon in the first quarter, finds the pipe instead of the back of the cage. Quickly scooped up by Jacob Gravely. And ball's on the ground. Double team coming. And we get a timeout. A timely one indeed from the coaching staff. Really well done. Had their man. You can only call a timeout in men's college lacrosse when you're below the restraining line, which on these fields is designated by the 30-yard line. That's what they call the restraining box. Coach J.D. LeMay doing a great job calling the timeout. I know it's early it's still the first quarter. In the first half, though, you don't mind burning those timeouts really at any time. And as I mentioned before, my colleague Adam Peterson is here. Adam, this is one of the best days that we've had. Earlier this week, it was 30 degrees on Monday. We had a weird snowstorm, and hail / snowstorm, spring in Southern Virginia. You really never know what it's going to bring. But today, the lacrosse gods have shined upon us. Good to have you here.
Yeah, glad to be here. Sorry, running a little late. Left you by yourself for a little bit.
It was lonely here in the booth. I got to admit, I was crying. I was sad, but happy days have come again.
Yes, and you're right. It is a beautiful day. Guys, I know we're looking forward to this one. Yesterday was also a nice day, and after some cold, freezing rain days earlier in the week, as you mentioned, things have really brightened up. You never know what you're going to get here in Virginia spring, but the guys were super excited yesterday talking with them, especially for the seniors.
And so many of the seniors, in fact, I think all of the seniors started today. Coach Lamb mixing the lineup a little bit, putting Brad Gardner and LSM and getting Dominic King down on defense. Started Connor Hackey on the offensive side at attack. So you love these senior days, bittersweet. Here Justin Mitchell, the senior who is headed to Southern Utah University to play Division I football for a graduate year. The Knights with a golden opportunity, not able to capitalize. Good to see Richie Johnson from Hershey, Pennsylvania, running down the field with a stick in his hand. Haven't called his name out very much this season. Johnson went to Lower Dauphin High School there in Hershey, Pennsylvania. You ever been to Hershey, Pennsylvania, Adam? I'm not kidding. It smells like heaven. And then the goal, second goal for the Tornadoes. We'll get back to Hershey, Pennsylvania in a minute. Can't let that one go. But fantastic job. Second time we've seen a member of the Tornadoes get their hands free. This was Atticus Cooper, assisted by Evan Francois.
Yeah, nice little low-to-low finish. Beats Brody to the lower right side of the cage. Got his shot off quick.
Yeah, that was the thing, right? If you're going to get that shot off with Michael Brown scooping the ground ball, Carter Bean running right through that check. So I mentioned, and I'm sure you've seen the viral Instagram video of Carter Bean from that kind of very physical play he had. Carter Bean is really a physical specimen in terms of what you would expect out of a senior who's been in the weight room and worked as hard as he had. And when you're going to come at him with a cross check there in the middle of the field, you're probably just going to bend your stick. You're going to have to put a body in front of him and just expect to get run over and have teammates to help. And that's his second goal in the afternoon.
Yeah, and looked almost exactly the same as the first one. From about the same spot on the field, probably hit the same square of netting.
In the back of the net?
Yeah.
That's rude. What did that square ever do to him? JT Cotrier taking a shot, easily saved by McCarriger. Trying to find open spaces, Francois eventually finding his teammate Wallace, who's done yeoman work up against this 10-man ride. Really love what I'm seeing out of Wallace and the effort that he's putting in. Things could be a lot worse for Brevard if it weren't for Wallace. The Knights are going to be off sides. Tennyson Schmidt will head on down to go 7-on-6. Eventually the shot puts the ball off the end line. The Knights will go man down for the first time this afternoon.
Yeah, and the Tornadoes coming into this one just 20% on man up on the year, 11 for 55. Not had a whole lot of success. And right now, after almost 15 seconds of man up, not a whole lot of movement either.
Yeah, that 3-3 setup in a 30-second penalty. If you're not going to go on the first touch, usually there's a trigger man somewhere. Ball gets in the hands of somebody, and you run that play. Michael Brown doing a great job getting on the hands will cause an over and back. Sean Lamb will trigger very quickly. They have an odd man situation. If he can move the ball, he goes cross crease to Gabe King. Little pirouette, and JT Couturier wide open. Second opportunity JT's had to be in front of the cage and get a goal, and can't quite finish. Taylor struggling with the ball allows Michael Brown to catch up, and now the Knights are in a match feet ride. Sean Lamb able to scoop the ball up in front of Evan Johnson. And Coach Lamb will call a timeout. Looking down on the field, Coach Lamb has a stance when he's not happy, and he's in that stance right now. and it's not because the players aren't playing well. They're making athletic plays. They're not playing clean. And when you're not playing clean as a coach, what you want as a coach is for a team to play their best. You know, after they lost to CNU, which that game is really looking fantastic for the Knights, as CNU the next week went up against number 1 Salisbury, CNU number 2 in the country, and CNU took Salisbury to the proverbial woodshed and had their way. And the Knights, over the course of about 35 minutes of that 60-minute game, we might even say 40 minutes, played with the starters even ball. There was about a 10-minute gap in the second period where things where CNU scored, pushed the scoring 10-3 right at the end of that second. But the Knights got to feel like they can run with some of the top teams in the country when you can do that against a team that's a juggernaut like CNU. So when you come out against Brevard, who is 2-10, you know, I was mentioning like their shot percentage. There's only one player on the team with over a shooting percentage of 30%. And that's just maturity and working through things and, you know, growing into your offense. But, you know, this is a team that the Knights surely feel like they should be able to win this game. As a coach, you don't really care about that per se. What you care about is playing to your potential. And that's why, like against the CNU, game, Coach Lamb was really happy with that game, talking to the players and the feeling in the locker room. I mean, nobody likes to lose, but they felt really good about their play. This is, you know, Coach Lamb calls this timeout. He's like, guys, we've got to come in and play a better brand of lacrosse. And then there's Gabe King. Steps in and says, I got you back, Coach. I got you back, which is great to see the freshman. Love seeing freshman Gabe King step in, do what he's been doing. He's playing with so much confidence. All set up there by the dodging of Sean Lamb. Again, another assist for Sean. I was mentioning as you got here, Adam, I think you heard the tail end of that. So cool to see Sean Lamb with nearly equal amounts of assists as goals, which is just really awesome to see the maturity that he's built into his game. Jaden Arnold with another face-off win. And that pass a little low for Tenson Schmidt. Offside, just tough to handle when it's that close and it's not right in your stick. The Knights going to a 10-man here. You watch Garrison Cook. He's going to jump this as it comes across. The shot comes, and it's a goal! Great shot from Jacob Gravely from 50 yards.
We had a good angle from, I mean, yeah, we're up here in the booth, but we were almost right on line with him, and right as it came out of his stick, it looked good, and it went in. Good for him. You saw how excited the bench was and the coaching staff was. Yeah, that's a big goal.
He had taken one shot on the season. He had one assist. That shot that he took obviously didn't go in, so that's his first goal of the season. Fantastic job. The Monroe, North Carolina native from Sun Valley High School, able to get the 3rd point for these Tornadoes. And speak of the devil, Jacob Gravely matching up against Tension Schmidt. Schmidt with the backhand shot. It goes wide, trying to get there just before the shot for the first quarter runs out.
Yeah, we do have to give Gravely a shout out too. Was the conference defensive player of the week last week. In 2 games, had 8 caused turnovers, 10 ground balls, and the assist, and including that win over Averett that really was big for them in the conference standings.
Right, you don't want to go in losing every conference game. I remember the very first year that the Knights were we were in the NCAA, so this is the 2014 season, and we lost every game in that season. You go into the last game, and we're able to pull out a win on the last game, right? You don't want to go 0 in anything, right? And then certainly the Tornadoes did not want to go 0 and whatever in the conference. That matchup against Brevard, so Brevard or against Averett rather. Averett now 0-7, 1-6 for Brevard. Huntington is 1-6. So great job from LeMay, the staff, to get that win in conference. Things to celebrate. Goal from your defenseman in the 10-man ride. Clearly something they were prepared for. I was mentioning, Adam, that they haven't done a great job backing up those shots. The attackmen aren't really preparing for that shot. You kind of make it like a football play, right? We're going to run 33 stretch, with a backside flick, right? Whatever. You just run the play, and as that shot comes, that attackman's going to run to the end line. Yeah,
a lot of good things to take away. 3 goals in the first quarter for a team that's averaging 6.8 a game on the year. That's almost half their goals in 1 quarter against the best team in the conference. And that might be part of the reason why Coach Lamb isn't as happy as he could be. Still up 4 goals, 7-3.
Face-offs, they're dominating. Ground balls, the Knights are dominating.
Yeah.
Trier steps in to take this face-off. He's came into the game 13 of 32, 40% face-off win. And he'll get this one. He's going to get chased down. Great stick check from Scott Bundy.
Yeah, good job by JT to stick with it. Wasn't able to ever get full control of the ball, but it's going to be a push in the back, give possession back to the Knights.
Into DeJarlis. He gets double teamed, then triple teamed. Ball's on the ground. Michael Brown, who else, comes away with the ground ball. That man, I believe his mom named him Hoover. His middle name, Michael Hoover Brown. Bryce Gardner, the senior, trying to get great job by Connor Hackey coming across the middle. Talked about the need as an offense to get to the middle of the field so the cage opens up. When that happens, the moment that you see as a defensive team, the defensive side, when you see a man get a step on his defender coming across the middle, you have to slide upfield right away. And there was nobody even pretending to think about sliding right there. Gave Hackey everything that he wanted. That's going to be a tough save for McCarriger all day long.
Yeah, Hackey's second goal of the day, and there's another face-off win for the Knights, this time for Peyton Merwin.
So here you see that was a better job of Evan Johnson really taking away the middle of the field. And Richie Johnson will sub off, as will Barney and Merwin. Knights get their first midfield line of Knorr, Veers, and Thatcher on the field. Shot still down behind the cage, nor unable to finish on the pass from
That was from Tenney. Two great saves back to back against Eric Knorr.
Great defense, really. Oh, and then what a beautiful find, and sneaks it in. Thatcher with the backhand, catching it kind of snively. We call that a snively catch, and just took it through the ball backhand. Goalie got a piece of it. I'm really impressed watching Gravely right there go up against Schmidt. He does it. You can see why. He's got great feet. Not the biggest defender. He's they put him at 6 foot 180, but I'm not sure he's 6 feet. You look at he looks at almost the same height as Schmidt, and Schmidt is nowhere near 6 feet. But his feet are fantastic. Knights just have better ball movement. Oh, and then Jaden Arnold airmails that one over the head of Schmidt. He's doing a great job winning the faceoff. Needs to clean up the passing. Get himself into good positions, though. And the Knights, again in the 10-man. Carragher. And Wallace gets open and takes the shot. I mentioned how good Wallace is doing in the clear. Just outworking the Knights defender who's covering him. And in this case, not only does he get the ball, but he gets it across midfield. He's at the top of the box, turns and takes a shot on a wide open cage, finds the back of the net. Fourth goal for the Tornadoes. Wallace, that's his second goal on 4 shots. Johnson doing a good job on the ground ball. Johnson, the Evan version, going up against Lamb, and the save by McCarragher. Didn't really have to do a lot to make that save except stay big, stay tall. And now he's going to go across the stick check, though, from Lamb right at the last minute. Lamb with the nice Indian pickup. Looking for his teammates. Nobody really open. Great job by the Tornadoes to get back in defense. Cotrier and Johnson subbing off, and then Sean Lamb decides to wind up from about 14 yards and crushes the top left corner of the net. That's a great shot against a right-handed goalie.
Yeah, when you give him a few seconds to decide what he wants to do first, and then the time to actually do it with no one closing him out, he'll make you pay.
And appropriately so, in that he's the one that chased down the goalie. Yeah. Got the check, grabs the ball on the defensive side of the field, and then comes back down and ends up getting the shot. Jaden Arnold with the nifty ground ball as he popped that up to himself. This time able to get it safely into the hands of the attackman.
Yeah, Sean Lamb had to get McCarragher back after he stuffed him on his last shot.
Oh, this is not a good position for the defense. And Tennyson Schmidt with the second time just ending up right in front of the cage doing the 1, 2, 3 pump fakes. If you can get 3 pump fakes in, you know you've been standing on the cage for a long time. Lamb and Schmidt fighting for the team lead in total points. I mentioned Schmidt came in with 74 and Lamb with 71. Now in the afternoon, Schmidt with 2 goals and 3 assists, giving him 5 points and 79 total on the season. Lamb is 1-1, giving him 73 points on the season. Oh, and that was going to be surely a great opportunity for Desjarlis. Nice toe drag from Gravely, and then can't find his teammate as Justin Mitchell gathers the ground ball. The Knights will look to clear through the middle of the field.
Yeah, going back to Schmidt and Lamb, Tenney coming into this one 32nd in the country with 5.29 points per game as Connor Hackey throws that one out of bounds. And Lamb right behind him, 5.07 points per game, and that's good for tied for 38th in the country. So two senior attackmen, both in the top 40 in points per game, really doing a great job leading the Knights offensively.
Wallace creating more offense for his team. And there with the finish. Great job coming underneath Frankie Howard, the freshman attack from Folsom, California. Went to Jensen Beach High School all the way out from California to finish this ball. Great job. All set up, really, from the excellent effort and hustle of Wallace. Wallace has been maybe the player of the game so far, at least from the Brevard side for sure.
That was a good finish from Frankie Howard.
Yeah,
only his
ducked the shoulder.
Yeah, only a 6th goal on the season, making it look like it was his 60th, not 6th.
Absolutely. Before I was looking at that stat too. He ducked that shoulder, put the head down. It was very subtle, enough to get Brody to dip, and then dropped his stick, and then brought the ball high. Really clever shot.
And Caleb Brody has played against some good attackmen, not only every day in practice and this season, but just opponents that he had in high school that are playing Division I lacrosse. And yeah, that was great from Frankie Howard.
Ty Veers back to Schmidt. Schmidt winds up. High heat finishes back of the net. And the 12th goal for the Knights.
Goal Knights, number 10, Tennyson Schmidt,
and his 6th point. Might be trying to go for 10, get his number and name today on senior.
He has a couple of those.
He does.
Double-digit point games this season. And we've seen that the Knights moving from the Capital Athletic Conference, which is now called the Coast to Coast Conference, into the USA South. There's definitely some good competition in the USA South, but the bottom half of the conference is not the competition that the Knights have been facing for the last 8 years. Coach Lamb's worked hard the Knights are in a match feet ride right now. And not able to handle the pass other than Michael Brown with a little fake and a finish. This is the first time that I've seen the Tornadoes really looking defeated. You look at the shoulders, you look at the guys after the goal. You want to see, a team, even after a goal, is doing okay. When after they give up a goal, the 7 men come together, they sit down, quote unquote sit down, and they just have a quick discussion. Hey, here's what we can do, or my bad, or whatever. None of that going on right now. And it was. They had some still positive energy, but that one felt like it deflated the Tornadoes. Took the wind out of their sails. Sorry. You might think I was sitting on that one for a while. It just came to me. It just came to me. Bryce Gardner looking to get inside. He does. Left-handed shot, drops his stick, sails it over the crossbar, and the Knights with good backup. Zach Sullivan, attackman from Murrieta, California. The Knights with a couple Californians on their team. It's a good C-cut, and then kicked the ball out of bounds. Connor Hackey just couldn't handle the pass. Good seal coming off the crease seal was Hackey. It was a really good look and a pass from Sullivan. Execution wasn't quite there. And the match feet ride ends up in the stick of Justin Mitchell. He's going to push hard. Double team comes from Wallace. They're going to call a push from behind maybe.
Get the ball.
Nope. I don't know what they're going to call.
Should have been offsides on the Knights, and maybe that is what they called.
Oh, that can end up being a flag, yeah. Michael Brown, you got to make that hit. And they might even be able to give him a cross check right there. If not a cross check, then for sure he was not within 5 yards of the ball. You can play a man. Yeah, they're going to say unnecessary roughness. You can play a man within 5 yards of the ball, but that ball had bounced past the stick of Will Scoggins. Knights will be man down again. And moving out of this open set. Ball down. Brad Gardner's going to help chase it down. Oh, what a ground ball from Atticus Cooper. That was right on the line. There was no hope for that ball to stay for blue. And, wow, Cooper. That was impressive. Wallace with a hard shot, and Caleb Brody fights that off. That'll be his fourth save. The Knights still man down for another 20 seconds. Playing a pretty aggressive, pushed out, and the cut and finish. Great job from Cooper. That goal, by all rights, should be his. He saved that ball. Now, he missed the pass that made the ball almost go out of bounds. It's like pushing somebody off a cliff and then saving their life and claiming you're a hero. The ball was going to go out of bounds because of his fumble to pass, but nevertheless, he does save the ball, and then he ends up getting the goal off the cut. JT Cotrier got to be on the upfield shoulder of that cutter in order to either put the pass on the ground or at least be disruptive on the shot. Neither of those things happen, and the Tornadoes will get 6 goals on the scoreboard. And then the violation at the face-off X. And I think, Adam, that I haven't seen Andrew McDonald, number 21, their leading scorer by far, 39 points, 25 goals, 14 assists. I haven't seen him on the field. So I'm not sure if, like, is he winning? Oh, and then Tennyson Schmidt, he watched some sort of Betty Crocker commercial because he is a hot knife through butter right now, just slicing through the defense, untouched. He's going full on ghost mode. Must have played Assassin's Creed last night because he is just sneaky right now. Merwin with a solid ground ball. The Knights, 18 faceoff wins to just 3. Merwin with a chance to score. And he's going to think back on that one again. That is just his second shot on the season. No goals, no assists. Had a chance to get into the scoring books. Merwin is a freshman from Idaho Falls, returned missionary. Committed to the Knights before he left to serve a mission out of high school and came back honoring that commitment. Carter Bean letting Nate Stone get acquainted with the turf, the 20-yard line. And Caleb Brody with fantastic save, holding his pipe. And Carter Bean, Knights with a 5-on-4 transition opportunity, and Bean with a perfect pass, sniper pass to Gabe King. That was beautifully done by Carter Bean, man. The senior.
And it's a great way to get your 100th career point on that assist.
I had a chance to sit down with Carter and his grandma yesterday, who's out here visiting with a couple of his nieces. And they are so proud of him. His wife, Morgan, a tennis player, she had a match last night. I wonder what it feels like for him. I mean, he's the second best athlete in his house, and he's an All-American. Good fight from Jaden Arnold to end up with the ground ball. 20th face-off win for the Knights. 5 minutes left in the second quarter. Johnson, great job from the sophomore. Mentioned he's from Hershey, Pennsylvania. You go up to Hershey, Pennsylvania, and the light posts, I'm not kidding, are all shaped like Hershey's Kisses. First midfield on for the Knights, and Isaac DeJarlis getting to his left hand. McCarriger fighting that shot off. Now danger time. And just too much. The ground ball and the push from Sean Lamb. 16th goal. Not often you put up 16 goals in a half.
And the way this one's going, the pace, they could get to 20 in the first half.
I'm sure at some point here soon, Coach Lamb will start to put in players that things may slow down a little bit. But you don't want to ask players to stop playing. The Knights, really what they're doing right now, though, Adam, is preparing for conference tournament, which we'll get a host here at Knights Stadium. Great ground ball from Colton Stanley, the sophomore from Grapevine, Texas. Gabe King has that ball go off his cross and eventually kicked out of bounds. That went off Bravone Coleman. Sorry, Brenyon. That Y looked like a V. Coleman here with a difficult matchup against Ty Veers. Ty going to sweep this to his right hand. The throwback. Great save by McCarriger. And then they're going to call goalie interference on Thatcher, hitting the cross of the goalie. You can't hit the cross of the goalie when he's in the cage. You can't really make contact with him. If his stick is outside the circle, even if his body is in, and it's a loose ball, then that's fine. And then great job of Brody, Caleb Brody, able to be strong. That was a really great clear, and then the Knights can't finish on the other end, but Evan Johnson, the freshman that I mentioned from Sanford, Florida. Brevard has been able to recruit from all across the country. Really impressive job by Coach LeMay going far and wide. And then McCarriger again, he's got Eric Knorr's number. Somehow Eric Knorr shared his Instagram with him because McCarriger has read him like a book all day long. And then Wallace, who else will help the Knights clear?
Yeah, McCarriger is a good goalie. He's another one of the conference players of the week that the Tornadoes have on their team. We talked about last week with Jacob Gravely, but earlier on in the season, it was McCarriger. So not just doing it today, but really been doing it all season.
Yeah, and you can see that. He does a good job matching sticks. Brody. Wallace got to a great spot. just put the ball right into the stick of Brody. Brody didn't have to do much with that. And then Sean Lamb on the errant pass goes behind his back to Gabe King with the pass a little low. You're one of the parents down below saying showboat. I don't know. It's a good play. You connect on that. It can be a really good play. The deception.
That's what happens when it doesn't come off. When it does happen, yeah, it makes it look like it was a smart play. But when you're about 5 yards away in the center of the goal, I'm sure if he gets that opportunity again, he's going to shoot.
I do like he's trying to keep other players involved. And that ride again, so the Knights are right now, they're not in a 10-man ride. Brevard just feels ill-prepared for either of these rides. And then DeJarlis finds the back of the cage for his goal of the afternoon, his first goal. So I felt like against the 10-man, they have a little bit of a plan. They know what to do with that. But in this ride where the Knights are just doing a match feat and playing 3-on-2 on the back line, meaning 2 attackmen are playing a goalie and 2 defensemen, and they're just kind of matching up. And if one of those guys goes across, one of the attackmen will go across with him. They're not really prepared on what to do with that if Wallace isn't getting open.
Yeah, and I know you talked about this a little earlier, but the way to beat that is just pure athleticism. And when you look at the benches, you just see the difference in numbers. And that does make a big difference when on the clears, these players are forced to run 60, 70 yards to get a clear. That takes a toll on you, and it really does make a difference when you only have 7 players on your bench for the Tornadoes.
Yeah, and I'm looking down at the bench, and you see Wallace, and you see Francois, and Bundy. They're just tired. They've worked really hard. You can only keep up that amount of effort that Wallace has been showing for so long.
And not only that, but it's hot today. We talked about that a little earlier, but it is above 80 degrees today for the first time, at least that we've had in playing conditions.
King goes up against Peters, and Peters doing enough in disruption and fight right there to force the shot to go off the left side, and the Knights will back it up as King comes out. Thatcher comes on. We'll see if Thatcher stays on the attack side. The question mark shot from Tennyson Schmidt. We call that a question mark because they come up the side and then you curl back around to your other hand. And the clock will run out for the end of the first half. The Knights up 17-6. We'll take call it an 8-minute break, and we'll come back and we'll go over the stats and take a look at the second half. This being senior day for the Knights, I'm sure you'll see a plethora of senior minutes go the way of these players who will be leaving Southern Virginia University upon graduation this year. There are a couple who are seniors that could come back because of a COVID year, but that's always a hard ask, Adam, when they're looking at graduate school or they have a job offer and coming back in the Division III world, you're not on athletic scholarship. So those are tough choices for these athletes that love the game, but also are in that space where they're looking at the next phases of their life. We'll be back in 8 minutes. And welcome back to Knights Stadium for the second half of this contest between the Knights men's lacrosse team and the Brevard College Tornadoes. Adam Peterson is joining me. I'm Scott Winterton. This call for the last conference game for the Knights this season before they head into the conference playoffs. This game has been a fairly one-sided affair, though we've had some really fun and impressive plays in moments from the Tornadoes. Knights, 41 shots to 15 for Brevard. Shots on goal, 28 to 12. Started off 7 seconds into the first quarter. The Knights scored on a fast break. It's been all Knights just in terms of kind of overall scoring stuff, but been some really cool stuff, Adam, out of Brevard. And one of those shining stars or moments is the defensive play, Jacob Gravely, as we see it on display against Tennyson Schmidt right there. Sean's going to rock and roll at the point, and solid defense again, this time from Johnson. And really great save from McCarriger. Been impressed with him. You mentioned Adam, former USA South Player of the Week. And then into the stick of Tristan Wallace. Wallace, along with Atticus Cooper, has 2 goals on the afternoon. Now All-American Carter Bean. Quick slide from Justin Mitchell. Gets to the hands of Stone, and eventually he'll find his teammate Ellen, who's going to drive. Can't find anything against Cook, and they'll reset up top to Wallace.
Don't let him push you, Frank!
Dominic King and Justin Mitchell will switch right there. That's an easy switch, just back and forth. 2 long sticks switching. Unless there's a real need to stay in that matchup, that's a fine switch to make. And then the shot clock violation. Apologize, we didn't do a good job. I didn't do a good job of calling out the shot clock situation.
That felt like a pretty quick 80 seconds.
Carter Bean has a man behind him, doesn't quite realize how close that Peterson was. And then the finish, great look. 2 players that you would not call out. When was the last time, if ever, Adam, that we've been able to make the call? I think that would be Thatcher from Johnson.
Yeah, Johnson does have 1 assist coming into this one. I want to say it was last game.
Oh, I was going to say, if you're going to tell me it was to Thatcher, then I was going to talk about some really crazy coincidences. But I was going to start looking for certain apocalyptic signs. But as it is, the turnover from the Knights, and that was Thatcher. Thatcher came in with 12 goals on the season this afternoon. Thatcher has 2, so his 14th goal. Trying to find, that wasn't a shot. I'm pretty sure he was trying to find Wallace. Sean Lamb looking like he was going to step up and shoot. Draws the eyes of the defense, and then smartly and unselfishly finding Landon Barney, the cutting midfielder, slicing right down the heart of the defense. Love seeing that. I mentioned Sean Lamb. You know, Sean Lamb has spent the last couple seasons over the summer with the PLL, the Professional Lacrosse League, and I really feel like that's rubbed off. I mean, how could it not, right? When you sit and watch literally the best lacrosse players in the world, and you get to do that for 2 full summers, that's a bit of a a graduate school in lacrosse, and it really has paid off in terms of his overall lacrosse IQ and how he plays the game.
Yeah, and I like what we're seeing from the defensive middies, LSMs, as Gabe King tries a one-handed shot there. Wasn't able to get his left hand down to the bottom of the stick.
He said, forget it. Who needs a second hand on the stick?
But we're seeing, not just today, but what we've been seeing over the last little bit from the Knights is all three, the two short stick defensive middies and the LSM on the clear are all crashing to the crease. We've seen lots of different variations of this with the throwdown pick down over the years, but you see what it opens up as Sean Lamb loses his stick. Good thing his friend and teammate Ty Veers is there to help him out and draws a penalty as well. But just adds another dimension to this Knights offense in a transition game that is so important to Coach Lang.
Right. You will not see many shot clock violations in a Coach Lamb-led offense, and Gabe King puts the ball off somebody's back.
I don't see anyone grimacing out there, but that wasn't a soft shot.
No, Gabe King is really coming on in terms of not just his lacrosse IQ, his level of play, the footwork that he's displaying, but really developing a bit of a harder shot. He's got the frame to put a lot of heat behind the ball. Just got to keep working on that technique. Knights in a man-up situation. Go into a 1-4. They'll C-cut. Ty Veers looks back to the point. They'll move it one more. And Carter Bean shooting around the approaching defensive player, Bundy. Bundy with a solid approach, but, and Knorr can't catch and finish that one. That was a sneaky pass across the backside of the cage from Tennyson Schmidt. Still 20 seconds left on the penalties. The Knights are all matched up here in a match feet ride. I believe the Knights have put Landon Roylance in cage, and very athletic play from Roylance jumping that pass, which you'll see out of him. He's so athletic. Gabe King and Ty Veers not able to connect. And that's one of those things that Gabe King's still working on, just the consistency of his stick, getting against the wall, and that's airmailed by McCarriger. Nice deflection. The nugget from Hernandez. Then
Michael Brown tried the
Michael
around
Brown
the world.
tries to go all the way around the world. What that means is, if you got the stick in your left hand and you go across your back, your shoulder, behind the back, little BTB action. If you bring the stick in front of your face and go all the way around to the opposite shoulder to go behind the back, we call that an around the world.
Yeah, I don't know if it makes it easier or harder with that extra.
Do you go less? Did he give himself less angle with that? I don't know, but either way, Sterling Thatcher with a great left-handed shot coming across the middle of the field. Sticks that one high left corner. So the Knights are going to keep scoring right now. I'm sure Coach Lamb and Coach Gowdy are focused in on the defensive side and want to see. The Knights, I had a chance to meet with the Millington family yesterday and today. Seth Millington, they're out here for senior day. And just an unfortunate situation is Seth Millington. He'll have surgery coming up in the next week as Sean Lamb gets underneath the defenseman. Great finish from him. Seth Millington, who's been just the heart and soul of the defense for the last year or two in terms of not only his play but his leadership. And on that defensive end, he's just been a rock. It's really a heartbreaking situation. Our family has been through that. I've had children with lower leg injuries that just take time to heal, and it's just hard to deal with. Michael Brown with the scoop off of the JT Couturier win, and then down to an opportunity for Davis Grant, defensive midfielder from Front Royal, Virginia. Went to Skyline High School. He hasn't had many of those chances, and you can see that. But what a great catch and a great look. He did the hard part by catching. Just has to put it in the back of the cage. Could have been his first points of the season. We see Coach Lamb subbing Tanner McCurdy's in now from Bountiful, Utah. So the Knights, Bryce Gardner, McCurdy, Thatcher in on defense. Oh, sorry, on offense. Or Thatcher, I think, is playing attack. Great save by McCarriger. And then the Knights are going to try to ride this out, and eventually the ball goes out of bounds. I guess Knorr would be the third midfielder, not Thatcher right now. Peters encourages that ball to get out of Thatcher's hand, and now Bryce Gardner dodging against Coleman. And McCarriger off the shot from Thatcher. That's kind of a shot that we used to see from him early in the season, fading away, kind of low angle. That's a high school shot right there. He's gotten away from that. The inside roll, but stepping on the crease line is Eric Knorr. Carriger left alone. Eventually he finds Wallace, who can't come up with it. He beat Carter Bean, which is no easy feat. Now Carter, 1-on-none with the goalie. And he'll finish for his 101st point in his Southern Virginia University career. Third goal of the game for Carter.
Good hustle, man. That's the way to hustle.
Coach LeMay brings McCarriger over, talking about options. Wasn't a bad look. I mean, Wallace was open.
Yeah, they've got to switch something up, though, because it's not working. This whole third quarter, I don't know if they've had a successful clear.
Yeah, we haven't seen the ball. You're right, Adam. There has not been a single settled offensive set, I don't think, here in the third quarter.
Yeah, I think just the one that went to the shot clock violation.
Oh, the very first. Yeah, you're right. The very first one.
But other than that, I really don't think off a clear from a save or a defensive stop that they've been able to clear the ball successfully.
Gabe King puts it right in the stick of. I couldn't even tell that. I'm pretty sure McCarriger did not move on that shot.
Yeah, really got to attack the 3-on-2. You have an advantage between the goalie and two defensemen against two attackmen. Or you just throw it up there and hope you get the ground ball.
Brad Gardner doing a fine job getting into the stick of Gravely. Roy Lance will find Ty Veers, and way offsides. They're gonna throw the flag on that one. I thought they were just gonna let that one go. And Schmidt gets his defender Gravely hung up. Now this is interesting. Double team coming from a short stick and a pole. I've actually never seen that before when a man's been hung up behind the back. And with the flag down, this will end play. Adam, I've never seen how that where a team sends two players on each side of the cage, who one of them is not a goalie. Usually you'll have the goalie step out to one side.
Yeah, well, when you have 7 defenders, that does help it a little bit, I guess.
But he was just coming down. I mean, that's interesting place. The Knights will start in man up, go into a 1-4-1 with a 30-second penalty. Quickly transition out of this. Finding Eric Knorr with Sean Lamb. Knorr doing a great job sneaking to the front of the crease. Lamb, off of the carry from his teammates, draws a lot of eyes, and those eyes lose Eric Knorr, and Knorr with the catch and finish.
Yeah, they were unsuccessful on their first opportunity, but able to capitalize on that one. Now going 26 of 58, 59, excuse me, on the year. Coming into this one, they were 25th in the country on man-up opportunities. So really had some dominance, especially in conference play in the man-up.
That's Knorr's 21st goal in the season. Really high shooting percentage, 40% shooter. That's going to go down a little bit this game, but also a 68% shot on goal percentage. So he's a very efficient player.
Yeah, and I did fail to mention last game, I believe he had 2 goals last game, and it was his 50th and 51st career goal for Eric. So I apologize for I had that in my notes ready to go for last game and just missed it, so had to make sure I got that out for his family watching at home.
So the Knights have chosen to take a bit of the air out of the ball here with 2.5 minutes left in the quarter. Now 20 seconds left on the shot clock. Connor Hackey will initiate. He rolls back and ball will stay the Knights on the backup of Curtis Drennan, number 14, West Virginia native. Curtis Drennan has a really, really athletic sister who's a swimmer, was a swimmer at Delaware. And then little inside out hitch and then finish from Thatcher.
Another goal for the Knights.
The Drennan family are crazy athletic. Older brother played lacrosse here for several years. Tyler, you had a chance to play with him, I believe,
Yes.
right?
Yep.
Crazy athletic family. Drennan's a freshman here for the Knights. Trier with the face-off win. And then Gabe King will stick the high heater.
Goal Knights.
And that's King's 4th goal. Also 2 assists on 10 shots. Make that 11 shots, and a timeout coming for Coach LeMay.
Yeah, that was almost exactly like the shots that the offensive players take during warm-ups. About just outside the hash and catch it about 12 yards, take a step down into 10. So got to give Coach Lamb some credit, setting that one up for him. Lots of practice doing that. Every day in practice they do that.
Coach Lamb playing water boy right now, letting his assistant coaches step in and talk through both on the offensive, defensive side. He feels like he's this has been a cleaner quarter for the Knights. I'm sure Coach Lamb a little happier. Scoring definitely slowed down, but that's intentional. Coach LeMay, go ahead, Adam. Sorry.
Just saying, not a whole lot to complain about when your defense has played one real possession and they forced a shot clock violation.
And I've coached in these situations. There was a time where we were playing Salisbury. And this, I believe, was maybe 2016, and they had an All-American defender, and we had a player on the team who transferred from Syracuse and was really looking forward as an attackman to going up against All-American defender. And in the first half, the ball never crossed to the offensive side, and then they subbed that defender out. And so they never got to go up against him. So we've been there. You've been in this. Everybody's been in these situations from the Brevard side. And, when you're Brevard, you just keep fighting and you keep working hard. Thatcher with the shot off of the pass is a really good-looking play from Davis Grant.
Yeah, nice little drawn dump there.
And this being senior day, you think about, you look down, you got Greg Gowdy. You're up here in the booth, Adam. Really been fantastic. The foundation that these seniors have played, just like, other alumni in building this team. And a lot of them far from home and have stuck this out. And it's been really cool to watch the growth. I was just talking with Ty Veer's mother, and the man that he is. He's married. He's got a job. He works at a lumber yard out in Colorado, where he's from, and they're kind of grooming him to be a manager there. And just so much growth. It's really cool to see these young men grow into the men that they are. And the backup. Smartly done by Jacob Hernandez, the sophomore defenseman. He's also from California, Santa Ana, California native. And the clock will go double zeros. You see down there Jex Meekum. He's on in defense. For the Knights have subbed in pretty much all their bench, which is awesome to see. So these bench players who haven't got a ton of time this season will finish out the fourth quarter, and that's awesome to see. Although if you're Jex or you're Jex's family out there in Eagle, Idaho, you want the offense not to do so well. Let's get the ball down on the defensive side. Let the boys play.
Yeah, that was 8-0 in that third quarter for the Knights. Knights on a 12-0 run currently. Took the last 4 goals in the first half, and with that 8-0 third quarter. They've stretched their lead to 19.
Looking down, you see down here on the you had a chance to watch that goal on instant replay. Just some fantastic stuff from the Knights. You look down across the fence here. Dominic King, Garrison Cook, Ty Veers, Carter Bean, Connor Hackey, Bryce Gardner, Brad Gardner, Seth Millington, Justin Mitchell, Tenny Schmidt. These are seniors that just have given so much to the program, and their next steps be awesome to see. Brad Gardner, I know he's been working so hard in prep for the MCAT, getting ready to head off to med school. A lot of these guys are going to be headed back home to their home states, but some are actually kind of staying around and looking to do some things local before taking next steps elsewhere. We see Andrew Cole, the freshman attack from Cache, Oklahoma, step on the field. The only Oklahoma, he's just on the ball there, the only Oklahoma player the Knights have ever had here for the men's lacrosse team. And we'll get a chance here, maybe hopefully with Cole. I'd love to see him take a chance to dodge this. The Knights are going to dodge with, well, we'll see what happens here. The Knights just bleeding the clock down to 15 seconds right now. And here they go with Bryce Gardner going against the short stick of Jared Davenport. Slide comes, and now Schmidt will re-engage and finding the man of the hour, mentioned his name, Andrew Cole, pride of Cache, Oklahoma. Cache High School product.
Another goal for the Knights.
Gets the goal.
Yeah, and goals in consecutive games as well. Had one last game.
All right, his second goal on the season.
See, he gets a nice hug from Coach Lamb on the sideline.
2 goals on 3 shots. He's a 66% shooter. Got to get this ball into his stick more often. He scores 66% of the time. Nice face-off win from Nate Ellen. Ellen comes in at just 31% on his face-offs with 7 of 22, but really did a great job with that one. Wallace with the shot, and Roylance, I think, deflected that. Couldn't quite tell from our angle.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to give a shot clock reset.
Merwin jumps the pass, and now in transition, it's a foot race with Stone. Gets to the middle of the field, takes a shot. Hackey with the backup. And the Knights will sub out. Drennan, Veers, and Knorr will come onto the field with Hackey and King and Schmidt playing at attack. We got Cooper and Perez, short stick defenders, out there for the Tornadoes. And the Knights, again, content to bleed clock down to, last time it was 15 seconds before they started attacking. On the defensive end, Jason Ciosi. Will come on for Brad Gardner, and now we'll get Drennan. Stop and go. Little swim move. He's going to try to get the shot off, just too much, and then King puts it in the stick of McCarriger.
Yeah, not sure why he shot that with his right hand. Had plenty of time to shoot that with his left, but
the turnover in the clear for the Tornadoes. Now the Knights coming in transition. Drennan shoots. McCarriger fights it off. And then Brown on the crease. That big long stick ends up going over the cage. Brown trying to get his 11th goal of the season. Sorry, yeah, he already scored one today. That would have been his 12th goal. .45 seconds on the shot clock. Knights might try to get Drennan to dodge from behind against the short stick play of Cooper. Now they're going to go challenge Perez with Veers up top. And Schmidt, he was looking for players, finds Drennan, and Drennan with the bounce shot in tight. That's exactly what Schmidt was looking for. He could have taken the shot, and he really was trying to find teammates on the field, whether it was Drennan or Hackey or anybody else, and Drennan excited for his first point of the season.
Yeah, and not only is he excited, but you see all the teammates down there on the sideline just as excited for him as well.
Yeah, I'm sure Mom Kari Drennan proud of that opportunity.
That's the last we'll see of Tenney today. And great ground ball there. That's Caden blocks him.
Yeah, blocks him. The first minutes we've seen of him. Wow, what a pass and finish from Cotrier. Thatcher threw that. That was a 30-yard pass. And Cotrier with strong handles to catch and finish.
Goal night, number 21, JT Couture, and assisted by number 22, Sterling Thatcher.
Cotrier came in with 2 goals on the season. That's his 3rd goal. Had a few shots today, so his first goal of the afternoon. And then Merwin finds Hackey, who will finish far pipe.
For his fourth goal of the day for Connor.
Yeah, Hackey's had moments this season where he's just kind of gone off. I believe I think this was a Coach Lamb called timeout. They've reached 29 here, and I think Coach Lamb's going to put some rules in place on shooting.
Yeah, and when you had Tenney on the field still, that you saw that they really spread out, went to that 2-2-2, and just passed it around until about 15 seconds, and then would let a midi dodge from up top and go from there. And since Tenney's left the field, that just shows so much of his leadership and field general ability, and he's been doing it for a long time.
Yeah, and then the young guys come in. They're like, a chance to score,
Yep.
and I think Coach Lamb's going to put some brakes on that.
Yeah, going back to blocks, unfortunate, not going to show up on the stat sheet with an assist there, but if we were playing hockey, would have had the hockey assist there, and deserved it. Had a great ground ball, clears it all the way down the field, finds the open attackman, and then, yeah, Sterling with a great pass into JT, who finishes it off.
Caden, the freshman you mentioned, defender from Indian Land, South Carolina, went to Indian Land High School. Knights have had a few South Carolina products. Not a lot of lacrosse going on in the South Carolina region. A lot in North Carolina, though. Been surprised that the Knights haven't been able to pull more North Carolina players. There are a lot of schools in North Carolina playing lacrosse. A lot of D3 and D2 schools on top of the maybe more well-known Duke and UNC. I've always found it interesting that in the ACC you don't have schools like Wake Forest and NC State and Virginia Tech with Division I teams. Merwin with a solid face-off win. Again, going up against Nate Ellen.
That's going to be the 62nd ground ball of the day for the Knights. Just dominating. Only 13 ground balls for the Tornadoes, who coming into this one were averaging 40 a game and 35th in the country. They're really their best statistic, and just been dominated in that category today by the Knights.
And a lot of that is the fact that the Knights have 35 face-off wins.
Yeah.
to the 4 face-off wins of the Tornadoes. Yeah, you see the Knights now are really opening up a big open set. And when you get pressured, you got to do something to challenge the pressure. And Gabe King comes back across the middle of the middle of the cage towards that Z line that I mentioned off the pass from Bryce Gardner, who did a good job beating the pressure. And that's a difficult situation when Perez came out and really challenged Bryce that far away from the cage.
Yeah, I don't think he was really expecting it either, but you were right. He did the right thing, attacked, and gets rewarded with an assist off a nice little finish from Gabe King.
Unlike women's lacrosse, if you reach a 10-goal lead, the clock becomes a running clock. There is no such stipulation in men's lacrosse. It's a fantastic face-off win from Merwin into the waiting hands of Colton Stanley. And the perennial goal scorer, Andrew Cole, back on the field. Senior day, mentioned Seth Millington not on the field, talking with his dad. He's like, maybe they could just put a jersey on him and just have him step out on the field. He's going to be working with a sponsor of the team over the summer, Active Pest Control. A number of these Knights players have done that pest control selling thing. Active, one of the very best companies out there in terms of pest control, and Seth Millington's a part of that, as well as former standout Zach Daneman. I mention them because they did a really great job with the goal. The second one from Drennan, he just attacked the pressure and finished that one. For the second one, where he's been in tight and almost bounced the ball over the cage when you're about 3 yards from the cage, but both have been actually really fantastic shots, just tucking it right up underneath the crossbar. And these are tough situations from both sides. You know, when you're a team that's up by, in this case, 25 goals, if you're getting pressured, you have to do something about that. And, the only real solution is to kind of attack to relieve that pressure. And you don't have to shoot, which is the thing that the Knights are still doing. But it's hard to get players to stop doing that. And I don't think Coach LeMay wants, Coach Lamb, he didn't want the other teams to stop shooting. It's just, you got to keep playing the game, and like to see some more opportunities for the offense for Brevard. In order to do that, they're going to have to get a successful clear or two. Roylance finds Davis Grant. And then with 60 seconds on the shot clock, it looks like the Knights will go into a little bit more time-draining offense and get on some of these. There's already a lot of second or third stringers on there. They're going to sub third stringer for third stringer, which is awesome when you can do that. More experience you get, these younger players, the quicker they can advance. And I'd expect, Adam, for the foreseeable future, Brevard has a number of, we've played and called games, women's volleyball, men's and women's basketball. They've got some really good teams out there. This team is very young. Harder part, really when you're building teams is, you need numbers. You need numbers that you can go practice against, and that's kind of where right now Coach LeMay can't go 11 on 11, with a sub, a face-off guy where you got 10 guys on the field, you can sub a guy out. You can't even really do that. What you really want to do is be able to go 20 on 20 and run some full field scrimmages every day in practice. So working on that recruiting side to get more, as Paul just goes right under the stick of Connor Hackey. I wasn't sure who McCurdy was passing that to, whether it Knorr or Hackey. Either way, Brevard ball, and they successfully clear.
Yeah, neither of them knew either. I think it looked like Connor thought that was intended for Eric and was surprised when Eric didn't try and go for it.
The crease feed does not connect. And it'll be Knight's ball as Richie Johnson will go back. Roy Lance, who is very athletic, not afraid to go across midfield. We'll see right here. He does, and just a little bit hard. I think he wanted Drennan to push up field, take his defender with him. In the open field, when somebody's coming at you with the ball, so meaning in these kind of clear situations, when somebody's coming at you with the ball, you want to get out of his way. Wallace gets triple teamed. Meekum doesn't come up with the ground ball, but did get the ball on the ground with the check and fighting for that one still. Good job from the Brevard players really swarming that ball. We haven't seen them get many of these 50-50 balls. Quick double team. Comes Eric Knorr, kind of stuck on defense. Roy Lance gets a piece of that one, and the Knights will chase it down. Colton Stanley ends up getting the backup. Great job from him. Tyveer's wide open in the clear. He'll push down and settle with 2.5 minutes left on the clock. The Knights with 31 points. Doing their best not to get it to 32.
Yeah, this will help their average go up a little bit, coming into this one with 17.4 goals per game, which was already 12th in the country. This might put them up into the top 10.
And they gave up. They average 12.46 on the season, but in conference they're averaging under 8 points per game given up. So this will bring that down just slightly.
Yeah, and also 20 assists on the 31 goals. Had 9.4 assists per game coming into this one, 28th in the country. So that will also
20
go
assists
up.
is a stupid high number.
Yeah, the team is cheering, as you see, after the missed shot because it went off the pipe and gets the shot clock reset. So I'm sure that was one of the things during the timeout that Coach Lamb put in place was shoot for orange. As always is the case, you want to aim for orange.
So there's about 30-second difference. Yeah, you're right.
This case, not the case right now, but.
Knights will end up just icing this ball with 5 seconds left on the shot clock. And with 19 seconds, check from behind. A great check from Bloxham. They're going to call a push, though, and ball down, and opportunity, but Jax Meekum with the check from behind. Sneaky check to save the goal, and Knights trying to get a shutout here in the second half, and they do. On the back of a couple Bloxham and Meekum's checks. Great job, guys. So overall, the Knights end up in every category, leading in terms of just sheer volume. Going back to the schedule, the Knights. One more, I misspoke, said that there was their last conference game. It's the last home conference game. They do have one more game against William Peace. And for Brevard, they also have one more game against Piedmont. That game against Piedmont, going to be a difficult game as well. Piedmont 6-1 in the conference, 8-7 overall. And then after that, conference championship, the Knights on the back of their wins against Piedmont and Pfeiffer will host, and we'll get a chance to call those games. Super excited about that, Adam. It's really an awesome opportunity here in the USA South for the Knights to get a chance to win the conference tournament in their first year.
Yeah, really been exciting, not only for the men's lacrosse team, but all across the board. Both men's and women's were able to, men's and women's track and field, rather, able to.
Yeah, they have a triple three-peat, right? Men's and women's won the cross country, men's and women's won the indoor, and then men's and women's track and field just won the outdoor season. So congratulations to Coach Chandler and his staff and all of his players and runners, throwers, field and track for 6 conference championships this year.
Yeah, I believe up to 10 now total.
That might be 12. I heard a number 12. I'm not sure. It's either 10 or 12 conference championships for the Knights here in the USA South. Good for them. And we really appreciate everybody that's joined us today from, I'm sure, all across the country. Given the geographic pull of both of these teams, we've appreciated everybody coming and joining us in this last regular season home game. Been fantastic experience for Adam and I and all the production crew led by Craig Reese and Paul Morsey. We're going to have a chance to just do the senior walk here, as the seniors will have a chance to walk out with their families. We'll take a pause and come back and talk about each of these seniors as they walk out onto the field. If you want to join us, we'll stay with the broadcast video live and just take a pause on the audio until this starts up.
sports of the
I'll never get to your level. She is.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we would like to take a moment to honor the 12 seniors that have been a part of the men's lacrosse program over the years. First up is Dom King, who is escorted by his dad, Jeffrey, and his mom, Amy. Dom
All
will
right, we
graduate with
will
a degree in graphic
take
design
some
with a
time
minor
to
in
honor
psychology.
these seniors.
Following his graduation, Dom will work as a
Starting with Dominic King, who is escorted by his dad Jeffrey and his mom Amy. Dom will graduate with a degree in graphic design with a minor in psychology. Following his graduation, Dom will work as a project manager at Formations Inc. During his time as a Knight, Dom has appeared in 29 games and has recorded 5 ground balls while also causing 6 turnovers.
Next up is Justin Mitchell, who is escorted by his wife, Madeline.
Coming up next, Justin Mitchell. Mitchell is escorted by his wife, Madeline, dad, Mark, mom, Linda Knowlton. Justin will graduate with a degree in liberal arts, and following his graduation, Justin will attend Southern Utah University. He will earn a master's of business administration while continuing to play his football career out there. Justin joined the team back in 2018 and has played 34 games, starting 11, brought in 9 ground balls, and caused 10 turnovers. Just as a personal note, really a great addition to the team, football standout, incredible athlete.
Let's give it up for Justin.
Really done a bang-up job for the Knights on the defensive end, stepping in and filling a hole.
Next up is Bryce Gardner.
Yeah, and just a great guy. I had an opportunity to listen to him speak yesterday at a university-wide meeting honoring graduates, and he was one of 3 students that was asked to speak. Yeah, just really impressive.
Bryce will graduate with a degree in design.
Next we have Connor. Connor will graduate with a degree in business management.
I think they switched
Excuse
it up
me.
on us. Bryce is Doing Bryce next.
Okay, well, I apologize. Bryce will graduate with a degree in design, and following his graduation, he will pursue a career in graphic design. As a Knight, Bryce has played in 37 games and has recorded 10 points off of 7 goals, 3 assists, while bringing in 4 ground balls.
Connor Hackey up next, escorted by his dad, Carter. Connor will graduate with a degree in business management and leadership, and following his graduation, Connor will work with his family business. They do a lot of car work out there, really a cool family business. He's had some really cool cars, he and his family. It's such an interesting thing to talk with him and his dad. During his time as a Knight, Connor has played in 32 games, recorded 16 points, 15 goals, 1 assist. Up that significantly today, by the way, so that was awesome for him. Brought in 13 ground balls and 2 caused turnovers as well. Had a chance to help recruit Connor, and just so fun to watch him, what he's done.
We now have Brad Gardner, who's escorted by his wife, Sarah, mom, Audrey Tolley, who also escorted Bryce. And had
She
to,
come running
had to
back
run
over.
over. And their dog, Mango. Brad will graduate with a degree in biochemistry and plans on moving to Utah to prepare to attend medical school following his graduation, which we talked a little bit about today. As a Knight, Brad has played in 66 games while starting 42 and has scored 2 goals and dished out 1 assist. Brad has also brought in 103 ground balls and has caused 40 turnovers.
Such a defensive standout. You know, he came here off a mission. There was this rumor. So Bryce was already here and had told me about Brad, and he was like a black belt in judo or something, and he did, get into martial arts, but kind of have this lore about him coming in, and he's done such a great job. And we got now Garrison Cook. Garrison escorted by his parents, Jeff and Heidi, and his girlfriend, Madeline Comstock. Garrison will graduate with a degree in business management, and following his graduation, he's going to move to Utah and start his career and get married. Congratulations. That's news to me. I didn't know about. Is he just talking about in the future, or is he talking about specifically to Miss Madeline? I don't know. But Garrison joined the team back in 2016, played in 28 games, started 15, recorded 2 goals this season, and brought in 32 ground balls and 13 turnovers. Came in as a goalie and transitioned into this defensive role.
Sorry, I'm still a little shocked. I'm actually really good friends with Garrison, and maybe if Brady is still at home watching this, can put in the comments if he knows.
Let us know, Brady.
I saw him last night, and I did not hear anything about this.
Or somebody just playing with us. Somebody could have put something over here on Garrison. That would be a funny little prank if somebody snuck something in. That would be good. That would be really good. See his mom and dad down there. Mentioned Jeff and Heidi. These are such great people. Putting 2 of their children through SVU.
Now we have Seth Millington, who's escorted by his wife, Taylor, his parents, Lance and Gayla, and their dog, Mills. Seth will graduate with a degree in business management, and following his graduation, Seth will stay in Buena Vista for another year as his wife, Taylor, completes her degree while he continues working in sales. Seth joined the team in 2018 and has played in 49 games while starting 47. Seth has recorded 5 points off of 1 goal and 4 assists, has brought in 128 ground balls, caused 82 turnovers, and has won 57 faceoffs.
Such a complete player, just all around. Really came in Idaho State Player of the Year, a really big get for the Knights. Had some questions after his mission on whether or not he was going to return, trying to think about his options. Chose to come back, and it was I think not only to his benefit, but also certainly to the Knights' benefit. And now the venerable Carter Bean up next. He's with his wife, Morgan, mom, Lori, mother-in-law, Janet Blunt. Carter graduating with a degree in biochemistry, and he will go to work at the Rockbridge Area Health Center while submitting applications for PA school, physician's assistant school. Carter joined the team in 2017 and played in 67 games. I had a chance, by the way, to go out to Utah. The very first contact we had with him out at a high school tournament out there. Just such a cool opportunity to meet him. He's gone on to score 97 points off 61 goals, 36 assists. Carter's also brought in 113 ground balls, caused 39 turnovers. In his junior year, he was selected to be the 2021 C2C Men's Lacrosse All-Conference second team, and was announced this year as a third-team preseason All-American by USA Lacrosse Magazine. I suspect he's got some more postseason honors coming his way.
Yeah, we talked a little bit about it today already, but over 100 career points now after today's game. Good time to get it here as he's being honored.
Next up is Ty Veers, who is escorted by his wife Taylor and his mom Robin.
We now have Ty Veers being escorted by his wife Taylor and mom Robin. Ty will graduate with a degree in business management, and following his graduation, Ty will move back to Colorado and start a management training program with Alpine Lumber, where he has been working for the past 3 summers. Also talked a little bit about that today. Great opportunity for Ty. During his time as a Knight, Ty has scored 161 points off 114 goals and 47 assists, which included a career-high 7 goals against Illinois Wesleyan in 2021. Ty has also gone on to bring in 128 ground balls, caused 26 turnovers, and won 52 faceoffs. In 2021, Ty was named to the 2021 C2C Men's Lacrosse All-Conference First Team, was a 2-time Virginia SID All-State First Team member, and was named a USILA All-American Honorable Mention.
I think his wife thinks he's not just honorable mention, but he's first team. He's first team in the Veers household. How about that?
Last up is Tennyson Schmidt, who is
And finally, we have one of my favorite people of all time, Tennyson Schmidt. Is there anybody that brings more of a positive attitude to life than Tennyson Schmidt? He's got his mom, Stacy, and his girlfriend, Rosie Owetley out there. Tenny's graduating with a degree in computer science. He'll move back to Utah, where he will start a career as a software engineer, coach high school lacrosse, which, if I had a son, I would love for him to be coached by Tennyson Schmidt. He joined the team in 2017. He played in 74 games, started 73. He's gone on to score 311 points, which was upped today, by the way. 172 goals, 139 assists, ranking him second in program history in points scored. Tenny also brought in 136 ground balls, has caused 31 turnovers, leads the USA South Conference with 74 points. How many get together? We got to make sure this is appropriate, I think, Adam. I'm going to 74 points, and then I can't find the live stats. I think he had 6 total points. I think that puts him up to 80 on the season, at least. Ranking 4th in goals and 2nd in assists, and he's a Virginia SID All-State first-team member.
Yeah, and last time I did the math, which happened to be yesterday, Tenny has, over his career, all his points, games played, almost 4.9 points per game. Higher than anyone else on the team, and is probably going to be higher, the highest for a long time.
Right. Yeah, and I think by when this is all said and done, he's this season he'll probably average 5 points per game at the end of this. And to average 5 points per game in college lacrosse is it's rarefied air. You just don't find, and it's so spread across the assists and goals. Like, he's just such an unselfish player. And we also have a couple players who this is their last season with the team, even though they did senior days last year. You see Sean Lamb and Isaac DeJarlis doing that right now. They were not planning on coming back. They had a COVID season, and they did come back. So little plaques for them as well. And they've done a great job returning. So there you have it. Knights, who have put in so much and in some cases 5 years of playing time, and over the course of even a longer period. Some of these players have been here for 6 years because of a 2-year mission. So just real standouts when you consider that the lacrosse team as an NCAA team started in 2014, this being the 8th season, losing the COVID season. And some of these players have been here for all but just 2 years, or at least as part of the program, even if they were on missions and not necessarily playing. But that's an incredible thing, and the Knights are just really blessed to have these men, and the university, the families that have joined the university through these men have just been incredible. So really proud of all of them. That's all for us today. Appreciate everybody that stayed in to watch this. Again, Scotty Winterton here with Adam Peterson. Appreciate everybody watching. Take care of each other out there. God bless.
And go Knights.